on the point of blogs that trying to get blogs to convert, a really basic thing that people miss when uploading blog content or publishing blog content is if it's performing well or you're actually getting traffic through, just adding in Microsoft Clarity. It's free to use, looking at the heat map of what people are clicking on or searching on or scrolling through, and just moving around headings, moving around the CTAs, just moving them around and just seeing if it improves conversion. Because if the heat's all at the top and then you're scrolling through and it just dips down, they're obviously not seeing something like you're describing that would get them to the next stage. And sometimes you don't know exactly what because you're not part of the industry. You don't know what they're looking for, what the next step is. Maybe you haven't got that. Maybe you just need to put that out and just see how they interact with that page. So your findings are very similar to that. It's going through the page and going, oh, this is a really hot area. People seem to jump over to this. I'm just going to move that up the page. It's a very simple thing to do, but it's the kind of tactics where you have to really think about these things, but most people don't.
That's so interesting. I actually haven't thought about that as well, but that's actually I guess that tackles a really common problem that a lot of people in the SEO space have, which is I'm not a niche expert in my client's industry. So I don't know exactly what that client is looking for, but then that's a really great data-backed way to know which sections of your blog are actually really, really hot. So that's actually really interesting. What was that tool called again? So
Microsoft Clarity.
Microsoft Clarity.
You can use it. Bing Webmaster Tools. It's integrated into there. It's free to use.
Bing Webmaster Tools. Wow.
You can also use Hotjar. Yeah, it's very underrated. Bing is doing some stuff right now because it's integrated with ChatGPT search. So they're doing a lot of integrations, and I think they've got their own AI assistant tool in there now. Free to use. It's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
It's not the best tool in the world for it because you've got better paid tools that can do a lot of that tracking for you and give you better insights and histograms and heat maps. But I do something like Hotjar for that. But it's free to use, and this is that extra layer that SEO experts can think about while you're off doing your business stuff. We're thinking about all these micro tweaks that we're doing to your website just to increase that conversion rate a little bit. And if we do that, ROI will come.
Yep. That is a hot tip. Wow. Unreal.
That's just for you, buddy. No, but your tips are great. Hey, as well, Backlinko is a great blog, I think, fundamentally. If anyone wants an example of what we're talking about, what a great blog looks like, how it's structured, even what you said about the sentence structure, how it just sort of drip feeds you and gets you to go down the page very slowly even. It's not just a bulk of content at once. It's a well-structured blog. Like, kudos to those guys. It makes sense they're in SEO as well. It's a very, very high-quality blog, and I think if you just copy-paste their structure, you're laughing. It's epic.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian Dean.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Dean. Please sponsor this podcast. Nah, joking. Okay, cool. On that topic then, I guess, how we were just speaking about, how it's really important to identify what our users really care about when it comes to blog writing. I think an important thing to get right is not only, I guess, where the sections are on the page, but then also what we're writing about, right? Because you don't just write blog content. You actually have to care about what users are searching for. You don't write blog content just for the sake of writing blog content. You need to actually write it to answer queries that people are actually asking, which will then, help them. And then once they're on the page, hopefully transition them into the next stage. So my question to you, Lawrence, is how do you actually find quality content that people actually will want to read and that they actually care about?
So how I find high quality content in terms of research would be using your classic traditional keyword research tools, SEMrush, Ahrefs. They're really great at that. Second part would be always just looking at the SERPs. What are the SERPs telling me? When I look for a broadline topic like what is accounting software, what are the headings blended into those topics? What are the people always ask for? Using Google itself and the SERP to indicate what a really well-briefed content piece will be is really great. And then I've been using Reddit Answers. That just came out. I think it came out in December, but I saw it recently. I've been playing around with it, and it's Reddit's a great resource. I say that people are just very no filter there. They don't give a crap about what people are reading. They just give you their raw emotions. If they don't like something or if they're having a problem, they're deep diving into those issues and asking for help. And then people are providing answers. So if they're not happy with a particular product or if they're not thrilled about a particular thing that they're experiencing, they'll give you that information. And it's a great way to add in those extra layers, that experience you were talking about before in the EAT cycle, is just adding in a little human experience or a pain point that a person might be using. So I think pain points are very powerful for content these days. If you're talking about what it is and how it works and what the benefits are, what's the common mistakes? What's the pain points? What are people experiencing that they might scroll down that page and go, that's exactly what I was experiencing. Why I gave this top level search. I'm not happy with my accounting software because of X, Y, and Z reason. And that's right there in the third heading. That's exactly what I was experiencing. And here's a breakdown of different types of it. So yeah, Reddit Answers is a really useful tool. And using a blend of those tools, using SEO testing, SEO gets, using Google Search Console as well, very powerful. So you're just mismatching and blending all these ideas together until you come up with something that's like, you know what, I would read this, basically. That's the last thing it feels like, this is pretty useful to me if I was reading this topic or asking a friend about it as well. It's like, is this useful? Yeah. At scale, it's a lot harder to do, but if you have that workflow, it works quite well.
Yep, definitely. No, I love that. I love using Reddit as like a source for finding blog topics because you can get really honest questions that people are having that are really hard to find from traditional like blog topics, for example. I think a really great tool to use is a tool called, I think it's called Keywords People Use. And what that tool does is it looks at what people are saying on Google, looks at what people are saying on Quora, and looks at what people are saying on Reddit. So we'll actually like crawl the subreddit to pick out questions that people are actually saying about a particular topic or keyword. And it's a really great way to speed up the process of doing all of that manual research because it takes a lot of time to go into the subreddit and then scroll down and then try to find questions that are really, really relevant. But I think that's still one of the best ways to do it because like, doing it through like a scraper, for example, you can miss a lot of gold nuggets if the scraper doesn't get the gold nuggets.
The sentences, the structure. I think if you're posting on Quora about your problems, you've got really big problems because I would never think to do that.
Yeah. I'm desperate. Anyone help me, please.
Quora, like of all things. But it's very underrated. Even just plugging in Reddit as the Reddit itself into a keyword research tool, a domain overview tool, and you can filter actually by pages or subreddits. There's a lot of crap in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. So you really have to filter through, but you'll find some, I recently found that in Reddit, some people were asking, what does source equal ChatGPT mean in my analytics? And I just like banged out a quick LinkedIn post, boom, shot up into the overview overnight.
Wow.
So that was really cool. So you can find these like hyper specific, and that's where keyword research is heading. I think it's so unique and specific, and you have to dive a little bit deeper than just the keyword list that you normally get with the higher search volume and keyword difficulty. It's like how low on the totem pole can actually get, because that's where all the searches are actually happening now. It's not the big terms. It's like just underneath, like literally you're scraping the small, you're scraping the particular nuances behind how humans speak to do keyword research.